Around 4 years ago, I was in a confused and lost period of my life. I used to consume an insane amount of personal development content. I was reading a book a week for years, and I took a lot of pride out of telling other people how many books I read, or the amount of knowledge that I acquired, the podcast that I'm listening to. And it felt like I was doing a lot of things, but I wasn't creating any results from this. There's a lot of contradicting information out there, and the more I was reading and consuming, the more confused I became, the unhappier I became. I was looking for answers outside of me that didn't exist. And eventually I got to a point where I got sick and tired of running around in circles. And that's when I decided to stop consuming and reading all of this personal development stuff completely. And this decision changed a lot for me, and I learned some beautiful lessons from it. One of the lessons that I learned was that there is a difference between feeling productive and actually being productive. I believe reading books is this fake kind of productivity because it feels like you're doing loads of things because you're getting all these insights, you're acquiring all this knowledge. But are you actually being productive? I don't think your goal is to become a walking library. And this is when I also ask the question of, is reading all of this stuff actually moving the needle forward in my life, in the goals that I want to achieve? And the answer is usually no. And you can get, by the way, very creative with your answers, with all the arguments of why reading books is making you more productive. But in reality, it doesn't. And this is what made me angry and frustrated, because I was feeling very productive by reading all of this stuff. But my results didn't reflect the feeling that I was having. Because how is reading books building muscle for you? How is reading books increasing your income? How is reading books building that network of powerful people around you? It's not reading the books that is creating this. It's you doing the work and taking the actions. There's a difference between planning to live life and actually living life. And it's also the difference of feeling productive and actually being productive. Because feeling productive, that's when you're just busy. You're ticking off the boxes. You're responding to emails, responding to messages. You're reading the books, listening to the podcast, acquiring knowledge. You're doing all this multitasking, because multitasking can make you feel extremely productive. But you're just doing busy work. You're not actually making progress. And you will read this in any productivity book. It doesn't matter which book you pick up, The Productivity Project, 4-Hour Workweek, Essentialism, Atomic Habits, all of the productivity books will tell you the importance of prioritization, that only a few tasks and a few actions really matter and really move the needle forward. And those are the tasks that you want to be focusing on. And when we look at actually being productive in life, this is measurable. You can see and measure if you're being productive. You can see it in the outcomes, in the output. And it's very simple. You just have a goal that you want to achieve, and you have a plan. And your plan is your hypothesis of how you think you're going to achieve this goal. You just do the work and measure if you're productive or not. And you make some changes to increase your effectiveness and efficiency. So if your goal is to make a YouTube video, are you actually making a YouTube video? To increase your subscriber count, are you making YouTube videos, or are you just doing research? Are you just reading about creating a YouTube video? And this is applicable to any goal of your life. And this also brings me to the lesson of less is more. I was reading these books and I was reading about a morning routine. So I thought like, okay, shit, I have to do a morning routine. And I have to do some reflection in the morning. I have to do some meditation. And then I was reading or listening to some other stuff, and they told me about an evening routine. And you have to ask yourself these questions. A gratitude journal. You have to journal about other things, the meditations. It doesn't matter what it is. I was doing more. But it wasn't giving me anything that I truly desired. Because I was looking at the successful people who were telling me to do all of these things because I thought they had the answers. They are successful and they are telling me about this journaling exercise, so I must do this journaling exercise to become successful. But this wasn't true at all. And that's when I decided to stop reading books and stop consuming all of this content, That's also when I started to question everything that I was doing. Is this really serving me? Is this moving the needle forward? Is this helping and supporting me in achieving my goal? And you have no idea how many things I cut out of my life. My whole morning routine, all this journaling, meditation, the stretching. Of course, I stretch in my workout right now. My evening routine, I cut out everything. And the amount of focus that I gained, the energy that I gained, the space and time that I created for myself, it was crazy. Because I had this list in the back of my mind of all the things that I had to be doing constantly. And when this list was gone, I could focus on just a few tasks that are really important. And now I'm not saying to not have a morning routine or not read books or don't do your meditations, but you have to be honest with yourself if this is helping you to become more productive. Because a lot of people are just doing all these things and telling themselves that they are productive, but they're straight up lying to themselves. So you want to distinguish between these two levels, as in, is this making me more productive? Is this increasing my output? Or am I doing this just to gain some more energy or just because I want to? And this is where you just have to be honest with yourself and not bullshitting yourself. And I believe that, like I said, with the lesson, less is more. When you cut out so much of the noise, you will gain so much clarity back. And the third lesson that I learned, and this is a quote that you see around a lot online, is that the answers that you're looking for are in the work that you're avoiding. Because I was reading and consuming, and this is what I realized afterwards, I was reading and consuming from a place of fear. Because I needed 100% certainty of the actions that I was taking. I believe that other people online had answers that I didn't have. So this is where I was reading all of this from a place of anxiety, as in I need more information to be able to make something happen. And actually, I was just afraid. I was afraid to commit. I was afraid to make a wrong decision. I thought I needed more knowledge, but it wasn't really the knowledge that I thought I needed. Because there's a difference between conceptual or intellectual knowledge and experiential knowledge. And I was thinking I need more intellectual knowledge. And this is the knowledge you acquire from listening to people, from reading books. But the experiential knowledge comes from, like it says, from experience. The moment you take action in the thing that you want to be doing, you will gain an insane amount of insight. You will gain so much knowledge that you can never get from a book. The nuances you will experience, no one can tell you them. And also because a lot of these nuances are unique to you. And you will only find out in motion and in action. No one can share this with you. And you're probably not committing or not taking action because you're afraid to make the wrong decision. You're afraid that you fail. You're afraid that you can do it. You're afraid to start small, and especially that other people will see that you're starting small. It's fear that is holding you back, not that you are missing some knowledge. And the interesting thing that I realized when I stopped consuming all of this is the thing that I needed the most was permission. That's the thing that I was looking for. I needed permission. I needed someone on my side to tell me you can do it. Because there was a big part of me that was afraid of going at it alone. And I also realized that this is one of the fundamental things of why I invest in other people. Why I invest in certifications, in training, in coaching, in mentorship, and all of these things. Is not necessarily the information that they have that I don't have. It's to have someone on my side that has been through the whole process and tells me you can do it. I believe in you. Make these and these changes and you will make it. That's all I needed. And that's why it's so important to have people around you. To have friends that are on a similar journey as you. To have a coach, to have a mentor and trainer. To have a community that supports you. That raises your vibration. That lifts you up. And this is one of the reasons why I created the Brotherhood. This men's group. Because I see so many men struggle with taking action, with starting, but also keeping the consistency. Because of all the questioning that's going on. This is one of the reasons why I also see, let's say, and this is not always the case, but I see unintelligent people become more successful because they are not questioning themselves constantly. They're not creating this maze of overthinking. They keep it very simple. The moment something is complex and overwhelming is the moment you will lack productivity. I can guarantee you. That's why less is more so important. Because I always question, like, is it really this simple? It can be this simple. Like, but it really is. You just have to do the thing. And that's why having a support, like a team around you, a community that supports you, like I said, a friendship, this is crucial for your success. Someone that holds you accountable. You have to have some kind of skin in the game. And that's why, if you're interested to join, you can apply with the application in the description below, and we can schedule a call together, because having brothers alongside of you while you're moving forward in life, it changes the game to a whole different level. So if you're interested, you can click on the link in the description below. And the fourth lesson that I learned when I stopped reading and consuming all of this content is that you have the power to make any decision the right decision. And this was a fun one actually to realize, because there's so much information out there online. So and you can insert any goal here. 4 years ago, I was like in the process of building my coaching business. So I was looking up information as in, how do you build a coaching business? And there were all these gurus online screaming and yelling that their method is the method because they are selling their method. But there are so many different ways. The one is screaming about ads. The other says webinars. No, you have to create a personal brand. You have to build a website. You have to be on TikTok. No, you have to be on Instagram. You have to make YouTube videos. You have to walk up to businesses and do workshops. You have to do outreach. You have to write a book. You have to start a podcast. All of these things were just thrown at me. I'm like, okay, fuck, now what? What do I do? And this leaves you in a confused place. The thing is that all of this information is true. All of it works. And all of it doesn't work. Because it's all up to you. It's a thing that you commit to that will work. There's a reason why there's so much information out there. Because there's a truth in everything. And that's why it's important that you find your truth. And I believe commitment is one of the best tools making a powerful decision in solving any problem that you have. Your lack of committing and your lack of making a decision is what's creating all these problems for you. Because like I said, I don't believe in a wrong decision. I believe the wrong decision is not making any decisions. Because you're wasting so much time in overthinking. Because what if you make the wrong decision? What if you waste so much time in making this decision? What if other people will see that you make a wrong decision? But you're wasting so much time thinking about this, not being in motion, not gaining feedback, and adjusting to the right path for you. And don't beat yourself up for not making a decision, but use this information to make a powerful, committed decision. Because, like I said, I don't believe in a wrong decision. I believe you can make any decision work. And if that's the frame you come from, then there is no wrong decision. I believe in any decision that you make, you will face the things and you will see the things that you are meant to see. It doesn't matter what path you go into. You will receive the things that you are meant to receive. And if the decision that you make isn't perfect like you imagined, then it's a stepping stone to the perfect decision for you, which will make any decision still the right decision. But you have to commit. And this is, you have to embrace the certainty, the uncertainty. You are so much stronger than you think you are. But you've never experienced the strength that is inside of you because you're just waiting. You're waiting to get started. And once you get in motion and once you take action, you will see how strong you are. And you have to trust in your ability to figure things out. Because you will run into wall after wall after wall after wall until it works. You keep on chopping down that tree until the tree falls over. But you have to pick up the axe and start chopping like a crazy person. So the last lesson that I wanted to share with you is you can make any decision the right decision. So I hope this is helpful. I am currently, by the way, listening to podcasts and reading books again, but I'm doing it less. I'm only doing it for inspiration, not to acquire information. So the place that I'm right now consuming from is different. So that's the main thing that you want to be mindful of when you're consuming all of this information of why am I even doing this in the first place? And when you increase your level of intention there, that's how you can make even more powerful decisions. So have a lot of fun.